Defund Planned Parenthood, not our police. Do you agree with that? From the Guttmacher Institute, which is Planned Parenthood's research arm, official arm, they reported that in the United States, the abortion rate for black women is almost 5 times that for white women.
We have the conversation on the life issue and the disproportionate targeting of minority communities with those same friends and neighbors. What we find is that they do know that the abortion industry is targeting the minority community, and the disconnect between some of these proposals is pretty stark when we talk to them.
The vast majority of Americans, surprise, surprise, do not support defunding the police. Not a good message for liberals or Democrats. And even though Joe Biden's trying to run away from it, his base is going to try to push him towards it and some form of it. Nearly 2/3 of Americans oppose calls for defunding police departments.
Americans know better than this, Jordan. I mean, the American people might want reform. They might want equal justice, as they should, but they understand that the vast majority of law enforcement is there for their own benefit. And they understand that doing away with law enforcement altogether would not only hurt everyone, Jordan, but it would disproportionately impact the most vulnerable among us. I actually like the parallel here with Planned Parenthood. We can get into some of these numbers. But, Planned Parenthood is engaged in targeting minority communities. Those who would be most impacted by a dismantling of police departments would be those in minority communities. Jordan, it's not just white Americans that think that way. It is black Americans as well. Look, this is something, its idea has not come, and Jordan, it's never going to come.
Why don't we say this? Defund Planned Parenthood, not our police. And former Ambassador Haggerty's joining us now. Bill, thanks for being with us. You wrote this message on your social media, and I started talking about it with our team here. I started sharing it, and I said, I want to do an entire broadcast on this because the numbers just don't lie when you actually look at the number of children killed by abortion, and specifically at a time when we're talking about police reform in a good way and that horrendous what happened to George Floyd.
We have to respect our friends, our family members, the law enforcement officers that are protecting us every day. They are the only thing that stands between anarchy and our families. And this talk about dismantling and defunding the police, it's absolute absurdity. I was shocked when you mentioned that there's still 1/3 of America that think that's a good idea. I think there should be 0% of Americans think that's a good idea. It's crazy. There is an organized activity here that really has hijacked our First Amendment right to protest. They don't care about that. They care about anarchy. That's what they're trying to deliver. And this Chaz operation in Seattle, again, is just beyond comprehension.
Americans are actually saying, we want better funded police, better paid police, better trained police.